here we go. This is gonna be a little bit different here on the screens. So hopefully this works out for everyone. While we're waiting for everyone to come in here, get everything set up. Let us know if there's anything going on with the audio, all that kind of stuff. First thing I want to do is remind you guys to go to hankstrange.com, sign up for our email list. Very important. Lola puts out a newsletter, and we've got a lot of other cool things on the website. You can find patches. When I don't have them still upside down. Boom, there you go. No, this one's still boom. All right, you can get the patches on there. You can get links to lots of different places. So go to hankstrange.com. That is the easiest way to communicate with us if things get squirrely around here. As you guys are coming in, please smash the thumbs ups. Share this if you can. We really appreciate that. That being said, I will load everyone up onto the screen here. And I will hit the open button. Let's do this.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange
Make sure
Situation.
you smash that subscribe button, smash the thumbs ups, ring the bell, so you can be notified every time we go live. And we are live now. Ben, I don't know if you remember this, but we do jazz hands. So everyone's got to do it, no matter how tough you are. There you go. Jazz hands. John's doing it. We are live. I hope you got your big girl panties on. This is going to be a fun show tonight. This is episode 687 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. And our subject tonight is the Gundies. Yes, the Gundies. Everything.
Why you should vote for me?
Okay. John Crump getting a plug in before anything else. Everything you want to know. And we've got a Will from the Gundies as well as Ben, who's been on the show before. Welcome, guys. How are you all?
Thank you. Appreciate for having us. Fantastic. Excited to be on and talk about the Gundies.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming on the show. I appreciate that. And the Gundies have come up, so I'm sure that the folks out there will have questions. Where is Crump going?
He's gone already.
What? I don't know what he's up to. I was gonna say we also have John Crump, but boom, there he goes. Switching headphones.
Yeah, no. I was just telling some people, my neighbors, to vote for me at the Gundies.
Oh, boy. All right, so we have John Crump of AmmoLand News as well as GOA joining us. And, the show tonight is brought to us by Harry's Holsters. Big shout out to Harry's Holsters, maker of fine Kydex holsters, including the ones that I use. So shout out to him. There's a code out there you guys can use if you want to save some money and also send us a couple of pennies. I believe it's Hank Strange. So if it's not, Lola will let me know and we'll get into that. All right. I think we should just jump right into this, John and Will and Ben, right? The Gundies. This is the second year of the Gundies?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So what can you guys, there's lots of misconceptions, conceptions, and all that kind of stuff out there. How about you guys give us the straight pitch for this as you both see it right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So to summarize the Gundies as it is, the whole point was the award ceremony was based off of my personal favorite TV show, The Office. And of course, in The Office, they have something called the Dundies. So that is where officially Gundies came from. So with that being said, keep that in mind now. The Gundies itself, the award ceremony itself, is for fun. It was all about bringing the community together, coming up with a fun way to kind of do goofy little awards and capitalize, not necessarily capitalize, but show off creators that fit those categories. I mean, like one, for example, most likely to survive the zombie apocalypse. I mean, that in itself is kind of, a little crazy award. Mm-hmm. But we have Breakout Creator, Best Male Influencer of the Year. There's certain categories, too, that have a little bit more importance than others.
Right.
But
so I'm showing the website. So it's thegundies.com, right? And there's a FAQ, and then I guess there's categories up there. So all these categories you're talking about. Mm-hmm. How many categories do you have?
15 categories, and then one very special category at the end.
Okay.
That's not voted on.
That's not voted on. It's actually picked by one individual. Ben, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so Jerry Michalak is going to be handing out, he's handpicking the
Jerry Michalak Achievement Award.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh,
So he'll
okay.
be he'll be picking someone that he believes represents the pinnacle of the firearms community, has been a staple, and all these very high class things where
represents firearms in the best possible way: safety, education, responsibility. Has really pushed on all sides, lived it, yep. And actually has made it part of who they are, and that's kind of where that award's coming from.
We couldn't think of anyone better to present that. I mean, Jerry's been a staple in the industry forever. I'm a youngster by a lot of people's standards, but
right, absolutely, legend,
super legend,
pure legend. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the big award, and then the other 15 categories are, most entertainment content creator, best outdoorsman. The big thing is obviously our industry is very big, from the hunting side to the influencer side to the review side. We want to be able to incorporate everybody. So there's a category that essentially can, find a spot for everyone to be in and come together in those categories.
Now, it's very hard to narrow down our entire industry into 15 categories. Like last year we did 10 categories. This year we bumped it up to 15. I don't think we could go over 15. I really wouldn't want to. It's already, it's takes some effort to vote in 15 categories. Any more than that's going to be pushing it.
Right.
So we did our best to try to kind of cover the spread of all the different people in the industry, because at the end of the day, as Will mentioned, based off of the TV show The Office, like, this is for fun. The guys with the biggest audience, they're going to win. Like, there's no getting around that. That's just how a popular vote works. But at the same token, in those categories, you might be with that person that has 1 million followers and you only have 5,000 followers. When you applied and we approved your application to be part of the nominations, now you're being featured in that category with these bigger creators. And we've been getting literally dozens of emails saying, hey, I just found this new influencer I'd never heard of before. Thank you so much. This is awesome. And then vice versa, like coming from the influencers, the smaller guys being like, hey, I'm seeing a bump in following because I'm a part of this.
Yep.
Which we noticed last year as well. And we made some changes to the website to kind of capitalize on that. Like, there's a couple features, like we have a follow button.
All right.
And we're not trying to be social media. Like, there's no attempt in that front, but you can essentially, it's like a save button. Save people that you want to check out, or go look at their content. Like we have a portfolio system that people can upload photos and links to their YouTube, so that when someone's scrolling through the nominees, they can go get a quick glimpse of who you are as a creator.
And the reason why that we did that, and I want to jump into detail a little bit more about that, is because obviously our industry is constantly under attack. And under attack tremendously by social media moguls. Facebook does not like us. Instagram does not like us. TikTok does not like us. YouTube does not like us. Everyone, for some reason, does not like us when it comes. And I mean by the word us are people that support the God-given right as an American to own a firearm. So with that being said, what we've really are very proud of about this is the Gundies has been a place to where, as Ben was saying, creators can come on with no restriction. Meaning somebody like Ben said with 1 million followers, they're getting noticed. They might not be able to get to that level because there's so many restrictions. So now somebody that brings in all these followers, their followers are now checking them out, going, wow, I've never seen this person on Instagram before. Wow, I've never seen this person on YouTube. And now all of a sudden they're engaging with these people and going to check out their content because there's amazing people out there. There's awesome content creators out there, influencers, companies that with all these restrictions, the general public can never really see because it's a lot harder unless you just really search them down. So the Gundies has given an opportunity to be able to, bring to light more people that support our community and are working hard to keep our rights alive through it be entertainment, through it be reviews. I don't care how they do it. At the end of the day, anyone that supports it in the right fashion, and I say this about meme pages. Meme pages are the same source of, if they're doing it for an entertainment factor and they're still promoting the gun world and the firearms, our side,
for sure,
still good. Let's do it. Let's spread it.
Yeah, still part of the community. You can make fun of the community and be part of it. I mean, that's one of the things. But so let me rewind here a little bit, because I know you. First of all, let me just let everyone know that these guys reached out to us. They wanted to come on. You know, they didn't want it to be like a soft thing. They wanted to take any questions from all of you out there. I think this came up probably a couple of weeks ago. Someone asked me about it, and I said it was like a pyramid scheme. So,
I have a couple questions.
Yeah,
Let's dive into.
No, but listen, we'll get into that here in a second. I just want to ask this. I want to ask this one question from these guys. Like, who are you guys, and what gives you all the authority to do an award show in the gun community? I think that's something that folks out there would want to know before we do anything else. So hit me with that.
Love it. Well, I think we're both going to have some interesting answers on this, but yet extremely the same. So to give you the background, Ben and I own a company called Forge Relations. We have been part of the firearms community from two different sides tremendously for going on
8 years.
8 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from an influencer side, working with influencers, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I go way back to like the Vanware day. I go back to when Instagram came to be.
When gun bunnies were like the thing.
When gun bunnies were the thing that's where we kind of started. And me, I don't mean the gun buddy aspect. I'm just saying that's how
like
far back it goes.
When people were all into that.
So having that relationship with the community, going to SHOT Show, my God, this year would have been my 7th year going to SHOT Show. So from a social media platform, from a media, stance, we have put our hard time in. We put our work in many, many years over. And from that, we have developed a company called Forge Relations. We are a media company. We do everything from event coordination to influencer management to content creation to you name it. We do it, websites, graphics, all that good stuff.
I mean, we hate the term influencer as much as the next person.
Right.
Preferred terms, content creator.
Content creator.
Yeah.
Most people just recognize it.
You know,
right. I'm with you on that. I think influencer to me sounds like hooker or whore or something 100, like
100%.
Yeah, it sounds like something where there's a lot of companies out there, and I think we're particularly subject to this in the gun community, where a lot of folks think if you an influencer means they can pay you something, and you'll say this thing is awesome and influence people to go get that thing. You know, and that's why it has like a bad connotation. I don't think it's just in the gun community, but there's a lot of people I've come across in the gun community that feel that way about it. Folks who, the guys who write for the magazines, people at the companies, etc.
Right.
Sure.
Agreed 100%. And you brought up a good point. It's like that in every industry because our firm, we don't just work in the firearms industry. We work car industry. We do some political things. We work in a lot of different spaces.
Anywhere, so we thrive, and I want to come back to your original question, but we thrive in industries that can cross-promote well with firearms. Like one of our big personal goals with, Forge Relations, and I guess this has trickled over into the Gundies, is introducing people to the gun community as a whole. Right. And then also, if you're into fast cars or you're into hiking or you're into these things, you probably have some sort of interest in firearms, and like the small core of the gun industry is very tiny. Like the guys that go shoot once a week or like
twice a week, training constantly. That is such a small group. Our big thing is to bring it to the masses, America, the public. The guys that buy their one gun a year, that go out and they like it. They're into it. The women that are never shot before that want to learn, want to experience handling gun for the first time, or just getting it out there in a very safe way. Those are the people that we love working with. And with that being said, we're going with cross promotion. We want to bring in different industries to our industry.
It's how we grow the industry and how we expand it. Because at the end of the day, like, this might be perceived the wrong way, but it's an old white dude's industry right now, and we want to change that. Like, that's the only way our industry is going to survive is if it expands past that. So, coming back to to what makes us able to do this and like who are we to do this? Forge Relations built on exactly that, creating relationships with different people, and everything we've done to date is through these relationships. It's a phone call versus just a cold.
Right. We don't
writing a
email
cold
people.
email.
We've been doing it so long for most of the influencers. They're in our cell phone. We work with content creators, companies. When we call Barnauls, it's not an email. It is a relationship that we have built through many years. All these companies, we have worked with them for many, many years. We have helped them with marketing, behind the scenes marketing. So all the companies that you see sponsored, along with the other 15 sponsors for the range day, these are personal relationships that we've either done content creation for, we have helped them find content creators for their particular products, or help them with product launches, help them with websites, create a marketing plan. So, what we do is a full-fledged marketing firm. I mean, it's not just Ben and I either. Forge Relations is not, Ben and I own it, but we do, when we work very hard for this, because we started out of the basement of my own house.
Okay.
And in the time, I owned a gym, and my gym was failing miserably. Planet Fitness was coming up, putting me out of business, essentially. By the month, I was just seeing my revenue just dive. And something I've always
it's like the movie Dodgeball.
Yes.
You made me bleed my own blood.
100. If I could ever live that movie, 100%. That is it. Okay. And I kind of, went to shooting more. I took shooting more as a way to escape that. My ex-girlfriend, someone we work a lot with, Alex Zedra, that's how we started. We actually started together. And then we'd go to escape to that. Well, anyhow, long story short, as that was kind of dying, I always did my own marketing for all my companies I've ever owned. And then all of a sudden, just kind of clicked. I met Ben, and we just buckled down and opened up a little. And didn't open up anything.
I mean, it's gone every which way.
Yeah.
I mean,
and now we're moving to a 15,000 square foot facility next month.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
How'd you get hooked up with Post Malone?
So long story short, he actually reached out to Ben on Guns Daily. So Ben, of course, owns Guns Daily. And then Ben sent the DM along a little bit. And then his manager, Bobby, grew up in my hometown in Jersey. And after that, we just became, he's one of the most genuine, nicest human beings I've ever met in my life.
He's a big kid with a lot of money. And,
Yeah, and it's just very nice to have he genuinely loves firearms. He's a collector from many eras.
A legit shooter.
Yeah, legit shooter. And I'm just very fortunate we've developed a really good friendship. And,
I would love to get him to do a podcast. I don't know if that's possible, Ben. I've known these guys for a while, and if you don't recognize Ben's face, he is, of course, as Will just said, the owner of Guns Daily. But you've been around. I think I've been doing this as long as you, Ben. And Ben, I've known you. He's always been kind and helpful. So even though we're gonna hit these guys with some tough questions, I think, Ben, you were probably I don't know, man, one of the first people to come on the show. Probably one of the first big guys to come on the show for sure.
It's been a minute. I usually stay behind the camera, but we're just we just try to have fun with it. Let's come full circle back to your first question, because I really do think this is important. So we'll kind of hit the company side of things. The aspect to how we're able to do this with the influencers. We keep a database of, it's probably closing on 700 influencers. That's
content creators.
Content creators, yes, thank you. That's from 1,000 followers, probably even lower, up to into the millions.
Across the country,
anyone in the gun space or anyone that interacts with guns, we keep tabs on, because that can provide value to our clients. And we want, a lot of times we just want to work with them and create cool content. So from that aspect, there's not many people, I think, that have something similar that would be able to put it into action like we did last year, and then obviously moving into this year. Yeah,
I think that's the best direct answer to the question, is the amount of time we put in it in the database that we have collected with personal relationships.
It's many years.
With these content,
Yeah.
This wasn't just like a spam email we sent out to people on Instagram saying, hey, sign up for the Gundies.
Right. I just wanted to establish, I know John has some questions. He's being very patient over there with that. But I just wanted to establish for people who maybe don't know you guys, they're like, were these guys able to do this, and how did it catch on? On top of that, you guys just had a good idea. You implemented it well. It seems like it kicked off, well last year, and you're doing it again this year. So, with that being said, John, what do you want to know from these guys?
I got a couple questions. How is the Gundies monetized? How do you guys monetize it to make money?
Sponsors.
So the Gundies itself is not monetized. We don't sell the emails. So
We'll come back to that because I want to talk about it more.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
One of my
essentially,
other questions I was going to ask.
yeah. So essentially, monetization just comes from the sponsors.
Okay, now I think in last year, did you sell the emails, or is that like okay?
Emails have never. So that's
Okay.
what I want to come back.
So that's
Those are
that's
big-
a conception that people have out there, right, or a misconception?
Right. That's.
Okay.
I mean, and it's very hard to break that misconception because that's what everyone does.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Gundies is meant to be a bipartisan, neutral platform. As soon as people saw, oh shoot, I gotta put my email in to sign up, they're instantly like,
Yeah,
I'm just
like,
gonna get.
we're gonna get spam.
This is
Here
gonna
we
get
go.
spam. It's gonna be
Yep.
like if anyone's familiar with the SHOT Show list, all you get is just the spam
Yep.
throughout the entire year. We didn't want that to be the case. Now last year, as soon as the Gundies was over, January after the ceremony, which I think was like the 18th of January, we didn't send a single
Not
email.
one.
Like it was
not one email until announcing 2021.
like that.
Gundies.
That 85,000 voter list.
Correct.
Because we had 85,000 people vote last year, which was incredible for
Wow.
year one.
Okay.
We didn't touch it at all until we ramped up for this year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then full transparency for this year, as part of the deal for the sponsors, is we've made that list very exclusive. So if you're a sponsor of 2021, and the sponsors are well aware of this, I'd love the public to be aware of this.
Yeah.
We are providing them 2 emails to that list throughout the year of 2021. So those are the only emails that voters are going to receive moving through the next year. I mean, we're not going to sell it to anyone else. That was, that was part of the deal. It's like, this is exclusive to you for believing in us in the Gundies.
Right.
So break that down for me so I can understand that. So you will send out 2 emails. The sponsors won't be doing it. You'll be doing it on their behalf, or how does that work?
Yes.
Correct.
So
Correct.
no. So
And that's after the Gundies is over. That's what we're saying. So the difference from this year to last year is after the Gundies is officially over, there's going to be 2 more emails throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
from each sponsor.
From each
so
sponsor.
it's 30 emails throughout the year. So
Right.
give or take 2 emails
Right.
a month, right?
But they're only from the original sponsors that signed on for 2021 Gundies.
And we control that list.
Right.
They give us the content. We then distribute the content
Right.
that way. Like, because the big, like,
well, we wanted it to be something worth opening. So
Right.
the whole point was we wanted that email, something that, okay, if you do open it, something in there is going to be pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the entire purpose. We want to give something to you guys. That's why we don't ever want to sell that list, because we want every time somebody opens that to be like, okay, that's pretty cool. Or, Brownells is doing this. Oh, yeah, I should probably go head over there. That's pretty special.
plus strictly from a marketing standpoint, if we just, like
It would dilute,
it would
it would
just dilute the
dilute
list.
everything.
if we sold it.
And once again, the Gundies is part of Forge Relations.
Mhm.
So we make money on Forge Relations. We work and do our marketing. That's how we have to live and put food on our plate.
Mhm.
The Gundies was not that. The Gundies was not made to be a source of income. It was meant to provide something fun for the community and show that me and him can do this.
Okay.
That, we did this and we made it successful. That's what it was about, not
Okay.
about monetizing.
I mean, obviously, look, emails are important, right? I started off this podcast by encouraging folks to go out there and sign up for our email list. Yes, I know a lot of people. It's just like subscribing, I think, if you look at it. I think we probably have a lot more subscribers or what they call ghost subscribers than people who actually press that button and subscribe, because people don't want to see a bunch of stuff coming through their feed. Folks out there don't want to see a lot of stuff coming through their emails either. But the valuable thing about it is this is a way we can communicate directly that we have ownership over. When my YouTube channel was deleted, I had no way to communicate with, I guess back then it was like maybe 40 or 50,000 people that were subscribed to me. I had no way of communicating with them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just another line of defense. I mean, and an email list is only as valuable as the people that actually open it. Right? So, at the end of the day, if we were just throwing crap your way, and this goes for any email list, then it's useless.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. John, let me see. Did you have another question here you wanted to hit these guys with?
Yeah. Will you release the number of votes for the creators on the list after the Gundies is complete, or do you
Yeah.
keep that?
No, that will be released publicly. I mean, to you guys, like the number of votes that a nominee gets, that will be yours. It will be in the dashboard on the website, and then publicly we'll announce the total number of votes, the total number of voters, all that analytical
Well, that's
stuff.
total, right? Total, not per
Total number of votes.
influencer.
Correct. Total.
Yeah.
Overall.
Right, total overall, not per influencer got per vote.
Yeah, you're not going to put in there like so-and-so got 10 votes, but this guy got 10,000.
Right. I just wanted to clarify that. Yeah, we're doing the totals. We want to show the interaction that the community gave to the Gundies. We're not breaking it down, first through how many votes to this person. We're not doing that. Mm-hmm. That's not necessary.
Okay. All right, John, did you have a follow-up to that?
Yeah, a couple of different things. The top 4 people get to go to some type of range day, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Top 4 people will have their flights and travel paid for to get to that range day. The invite to participate, even if you're one of the top 4, is open to all the nominees. And then we're also invited. There's a lot of smaller creators too.
Right. Industry. So think of it as SHOT Show. So once again, I don't mean. Let me hold on. Let me take that back. Don't think of it as SHOT. Hold on. I don't mean to say that. What I'm saying industry only. You have to be approved. We don't want Tom off the street doesn't have any. They're not coming.
It's not a public event.
It's not a public event.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
So top 4 people, 4 category, will have their flight, their hotel, all paid for.
Where is where is this event taking place?
At Drive Tanks in Texas.
Drive Tanks, Texas. Okay, I've been there.
Tanks, giraffes, and machine guns.
Yeah, tanks, giraffes, machine guns, and a live ceremony at night.
Yeah,
so,
that's an awesome place, by the way.
Oh, we're so fortunate that they kind of took us in with open arms and said absolutely, we would love to be your host. Mm-hmm. Use our location. It's gorgeous. Ben and I flew out there last month. We looked at everything. We Ben and I personally, once again, going back to we have a company to run. Adding on this whole Gundies range day has been.
The range day wasn't part of the original.
It wasn't part of the original plan. So once SHOT Show was canceled, we were always planning on Plan B. But when it actually came up, we had to go either all in or not, and we decided to go all in. And this has been a unbelievably intense undertaking with very little time to plan an event for probably 300 people, porta potties to live stream to food to logistics, insurance. I mean, we're working more than I've ever imagined working. But yeah, so 4 people come out too.
Yeah. By the way, I see Black Diamond Guns and Gear out there. They said vote for us.
All right.
So
what's up, Josh?
What's going on?
Yeah. Whoever's out in the chat, first of all, smash the thumbs ups. All right. And then, let us know. If you want people to vote for you, I'd be happy to say it. Before John says it, he's going to say, what are you going to say, John? Go ahead.
Unless they're running in a category against me, then just vote for me.
Yeah. I don't know how you're supposed to actually. So how is this supposed to be fair and balanced if you're also running? Well, I guess we could say that you're participating.
Well, so I'm participating. I'm not doing this as a journalist. Hey.
Okay. All right. Fine.
So if you guys wanted me to come out there and cover it, I will.
We would love for you to come out.
Yeah. Okay. But if anyone else. If anyone else is that's out there that you want to do your pitch or whatever, it's all good. Let us know. That's fine. I know maybe at some point here we'll go through this. John, did you have another question for these guys?
What is the average votes to get in the top 4 from last year? And do you think that's going to be higher this year?
That's a great question.
It's definitely going to be higher, just based on the amount of users increasing from last year.
I don't actually know the number though.
But that's a great.
I haven't looked at
to
that
get
yet.
you to the top 4.
I'm very math oriented, so I see number.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why
I
Hank.
have to look at the numbers. That's a
Yeah.
good one. I've never actually like sat down and looked at it.
Yeah.
So I mean, so explain to us out there, for the folks who, you know, a lot of the folks who are out there in the chat probably would either, one, not be interested in participating, maybe they would be interested in participating and they want to support their favorite gun guy or girl out there, or maybe, you know, they're sitting on the fence of this. How does this actually work in terms of the people that are selected in these categories? How do you get selected in a category? You know, what do you have to do? Because I think when I was looking at the site, it says that a person could vote up to 15 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Okay. So great question. So one, how it works, the website itself actually opened up November 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And in that period of November 1st to December 1st, applications were open, and we were also personally and other people were nominating content creators. So in between that time period, what was happening was content creators, companies, like we have that's called Best Gun Range, Best Gun Store. What was happening is they were applying, and then they were applying as an influencer. They had to fill out all their profiles or URLs, all their information. That then went to behind the scenes to us, and it went to us to go to accept. We had to then accept them in to the program, meaning, you know, did they fit? Were they an actual gun store, or was this an actual content creator? Was this person that actually did something in our community? So then once that was determined, because there's two different people, there's users, people that just sign up to vote,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's, of course, the people on the website itself for a content creator. Then they were actually accepted, put into the system, put into the categories, and then December 1st, that opened up. So now all the content creators were in the system, and then it opened up to the users. So a user essentially is just consumers, people out there following, you know, entertained by Instagram, supporting our community. They just go up. All they do is put in their email, and meaning by voting 15 times, there's 15 categories. Okay, you can vote every day, once a day in each category. So which would be 15 times a day. So now you're going to say, well, wait a minute. Why do I want to do any of this? Why do I want to vote? Why do I want to sit there and click for my favorite person 15 times a day? Well, because every category, remember, there's 15 of them. Every sponsor that sponsored a category is giving something back to you guys. There's going to be a grand prize, the voters. There's a grand prize in every single category. For example, Barnauls is giving away a rifle. Henry Rifles is giving away a rifle.
Diamondback truck
bed covers, giving away a truck bed cover to the voters. That's going to the people that vote. Randomly selected, vote.
Okay, so the contestants or the nominees just get the like whatever prize it is that they're up for, or award that they're up for, but
So
the folks voting
right.
they can potentially win something.
Correct. Big prize. I mean, in our opinion, pretty awesome. Plus, with the grand prize being, so if you're a super voter or someone that consistently votes, you're having the opportunity to win a free trip to Drive Tanks, to the Gundies, all expenses paid. Come out, host. If you want to do a host with me for one of the categories on live stream, it is open door for you. Be part of the community, be part of the day, and come hang out. That's the grand prize.
Oh, okay. By the way, Drive Tanks is out there. I see them. I hope they're smashing the thumbs ups. Drive Tanks says, we're excited to see everyone here and have a fun time. And then Flying Rich gave us $5 here, and Flying Rich says, is there a best guest on Hank Strange with a bird category? So that's Flying Rich has his own bird, so whenever he comes on here, he has a bird. Black Diamond Guns and Gear also gave us a super chat here, and they say, just because we love Hank. Thank you, I appreciate that. And Night Train, I'm just getting some comments in here for the folks watching us so they can participate. Night Train says, I would certainly prefer watching these awards than the rotten Oscars. So there you go.
Well, and a great response to him is he can watch it this year. That was a big change from last year, where we are live streaming the event. So we are calling it a paper plate red carpet event.
Okay.
I mean, it's in a tank pavilion, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And what I love about Drive Tanks so much, we had the meeting and they go, hey, would you guys mind, just to let you know, during the award ceremony, a giraffe could stick its head in there and be on camera. And I said, please let that happen.
If that happens,
Yeah.
it's
Please,
gonna break the
please
internet.
let that happen.
Break the internet. Like I
And
give up.
just like we're doing right now,
Yeah.
people are going to be able to watch the entire thing. And it's going to be a
Right.
full camera setup. We're going to be me and Thea Van Letha. She's going to be my co-host.
Oh, awesome.
I'm
a fan. I'm a fan of hers.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
So she gets to be my Dwight, and I get to be Jim. Oh, I guess she's my Dwight, and I get to be Michael.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'm saying, you might.
Yeah. Let's. So John Crump also gave us a couple of bucks here, and he says, "Vote smart, vote Crump." Okay. Now, Flying Rich gave us another super chat. He says, "Just because I love Lola more." Okay, so this is gonna get a little out of hand. By the way, Drive Tanks is an amazing place. I went there with Barnauls, and it's like another planet. There's a whole bunch of different things going on over there, amazing stuff that people could do out there. So Lola and myself both went. We had a great time. It's an amazing, fantastic place. That tank pavilion, there's so many cool guns and all that kind of stuff in there. My friend Flem Gunner is basically running the tanks and the guns. And all of that going on over there. So it's a fantastic place. If folks out there haven't gone, you should,
Highly recommend.
highly recommend it. And if you vote, you get a chance to go for free. So let's keep that in mind too. I mean, there's a bonus too.
Yeah. So Crump, did you have follow-up questions to that? And Johnny Kamikaze says he votes for you daily, Crump. So go ahead.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. Thank you guys.
Right.
And if you're not voting for me, you suck. But yeah.
This is not fair and balanced, by the way.
We are neutral. We are not a part of this.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm representing myself tonight at Amberland or GOA.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, Drive Tanks is one of the places that I've been looking at for a long time. One day I will get out there to do an article on, because I think it will be incredible to write an article about an experience out there. So one day I will get out there to do that. But yeah, Drive Tanks is pretty cool. Of watching a lot of videos over the past couple of years about them, where they have they're actual functional tanks, which is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
It's not like you just go drive around a tank that's demilled.
No.
Actually, fire.
Yeah.
They fire.
Yes. I've got some videos up on YouTube, and I think some other places if you guys haven't seen that. And Glenn over there is just amazing. The staff, everyone there is cool. They've got cool Jeeps. They've got cool animals walking around. I think Lola was feeding the giraffes, and they've got camels and all kinds of crazy. It's an amazing place, really.
There's a rhino. They got 2 new baby rhinos.
Yeah.
It's like a 18,000 square foot or 18,000.
I don't want to say it wrong. 18,000 square miles. It's just something absurd. It's
18,000 acre man
absurd.
cave.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, it is. Drive Tank says, Crump, let us know when you. We'd love to have you. So there you go. And then Black Diamond Guns and Gear dropped another super chat on us. Thanks very much. They says, vote Black Diamond Guns and Gear for Breakout YouTuber, shameless plug, and more money. So there you go. What can I say to that, right? And yeah, Drive Tank says 18,000 acres.
18,000 acres. Okay, perfect.
That is insanity, and it's awesome.
Donut Operator did something on it recently, I think.
Yeah. Our good friend Brandon Herrera's out there. They go out there all the time.
He's out there right now.
Yeah, Brandon did a bunch of videos. I think Noir was out there, right? I saw Noir out there. Yeah, so there's, all the cool people have been there. What can I say? I shot a howitzer over there, which is cool.
A little technical issue. You're going to be live streaming from out there. Do they have a powerful enough internet to live stream?
They do.
They
It's unbelievable.
They actually have fiber.
Yeah, they have fiber with a satellite. I don't want to butcher this, guys. I know you're listening, but they have a satellite system for their Wi-Fi. It's crazy.
I mean, if you want to get into the technical details, they're hardwired into the front of the property, and then they have.
There's great service for amazing live stream.
It works.
Yeah.
So is it like a man system or something like that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know
Yeah.
it meets all the requirements that we could ever want for a full-on live stream.
Okay, yeah, because I was wondering, because if it's just a satellite uplink, the latency might be a little bit too much for live streaming. But if they're tied into fiber and they use some type of like microwave type of system, that should work.
Yeah. I mean, Uvalde is pretty much in the middle of Texas.
It's middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere.
I mean, the hotels that we're getting for everyone to stay at, we got charter buses to drive everybody back and forth, the drive tanks. So we're trying to make it as convenient. And once again, we're so gracious that Drive Tanks has really accepted us, and we're excited to have us. So, and once again, too, I want to give a little plug for Drive Tanks. Remember, they are open to the public. So this isn't just like something you got to be in the firearms industry. If you are anybody, you can call them, set up. They have beautiful accommodations. I mean, literally, you can go and throw a grenade. If that's what you want to do and you want to throw a grenade, you can do that there. If you want to drive in a tank, you can do that. If you want to shoot a cannon, you can do that. Mm-hmm. It is unbelievable. And we're saying it to anyone. Anyone can do this. Mm-hmm. Maybe so. It's an amazing experience.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who has the money, and it's, by the way, if you're not a wealthy person, it's worth saving the money because it's amazing. If you are a baller, they do have their own landing strip that you can land your private jet on.
They do. Yes. They do.
Not that I had a private jet to land on there, but it was.
Me and Ben will be taking the Greyhound because it's been so much money to try and get to this point. We're going to be hitchhiking our way to. We're going to have a sign saying the Gundies to Texas.
Yeah, I bet you. You know what? Soon enough, you guys will have a private jet. Just give me a ride on it. Listen, 3 times a year. That's all I'll ask for.
My old neighbor, somehow like a year ago, he moved out a year ago, and he was in the same financial situation I'm in, which is not bad financial situation, but it's not like baller financial situation. Mm-hmm. And somehow in the last year, he acquired a private helicopter and a private jet.
Yeah, it can happen.
And a McLaren and a Lamborghini, and I'm like, what the hell did you do?
Bitcoin.
I have no idea.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Does he own Drive Tanks? I don't know. Probably not.
No, he owns a private military contracting company, so that might have something to do with it.
I feel like that would.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so let's get back to it. What would you guys say? And I don't know if John has any other questions, but what would you guys say to the folks like myself that said that this is like a pyramid scheme kind of thing, right? That there's a and the reason why I think that it looks like that from the outside, all right, is that the people who want to be nominated have to campaign for that, right? And then once they get in there to win, they have to campaign and get their audience to come out there and do that. And it seems to me like the biggest creators are going to win. I think you guys said that already, that more than likely the biggest creators are going to win. And then everyone's going in there and giving their email address and stuff like that. But so it seems like almost everyone's doing the work for you guys. What would you say to that?
That's an interesting way of looking at it, especially I think using the term pyramid scheme. Mm-hmm.
That's just an easy. That's just an easy way to. That's just an easy describe.
Right. No.
Yeah,
agreed. No. Agreed. 100%. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think from the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. What was that?
Go ahead.
Behind the scenes, it was MLM, and it was related to Amway. Right. I don't know if that's true or not.
Multi-level marketing.
Multi-level marketing. Right. So I could see how that looks there, but the truth of it, I mean, one, we've already been very honest. Of course, if you have 1 million followers, there's going to be a lot more people voting for you. But the entire point of this was not to. That's why the categories were just kind of fun. You weren't really winning something. And clarify something. Let's talk about what the winner gets, and this could answer this a little bit. The winner gets, last year was a plastic trophy. Okay, the Gundies, fun. This year is going to be made out of bronze. I'm going to spend probably the next 3 months or 3 weeks of my life trying to figure this out.
He's going to make it himself.
I'm going to cast my own bronze. And
it's going to be actual 100% pure bronze.
Yeah.
Which is not
bronze. Excuse me. Pewter. Sorry.
Pewter. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
We should get Zazzer to make it.
I apologize.
Pewter. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because it has a lower melting point.
Right.
And then on top of that, There will be 15 winners. When they get off stage on live stream, they're going to be not going to be handed it, but they're going to be given $500 to donate to a charity of their choice. So that's what they get. They're going to get the opportunity to donate to whatever charity that they like. We're going to have in the Gundies when we get closer some of our favorite charities that we like to work with. And they don't have to pick those. They can pick anybody they want. So that is what the winners get, okay? A donation from us to give to a charity, and then also the Gundy. Now, to go back to the original question, one, we've answered the question about the emails. We don't sell the emails. We're not sending anybody emails. So really the emails, for us having the emails, it's still internal. So we're not doing anything with them. So that's one. Two, what we're trying to do was create a place that everybody can be in one sanctuary, that somebody with 1 million followers promote themselves is actually helping somebody grow that has 1,000 followers. So the whole point of this was to bring the community together, and everybody promoting themselves or promoting the Gundies was really helping everybody involved in the Gundies. And then for the flip side of it, for the users voting, we want to give back to them because they were voting, they were working. So the sponsors went, well, let's give them something. And that's where the prizes came to, by just literally clicking a button, you can win some pretty badass shit. So that's kind of where it comes full circle. So in a sense, I could see not understanding that to where, okay, they're collecting emails, they're going to spam everybody, they're going to do this. We're going to have influencers do our own marketing for us by promoting it. But when it all comes back around, we're not doing anything with it. We're not capitalizing on this from a monetary sense. All we're trying to do is bring everybody in one location that everybody can share and work with each other.
Okay.
And also, we've talked to a lot of influencers that have exactly that. They're like, I don't feel comfortable like promoting myself. I don't want to do that, and that's totally fine. Like, there's no requirement for how much you participate. The folks that promote it more, they're probably going to have, once again, just back to a popular vote. If you put it out there, you put it out there. But that's why we're out here doing our own groundwork too. Like this, in order for people to know that this exists, someone's got to talk about it. In this case, it's us. In other cases, it's the influencers. Other cases, it's articles that have been written. So it's, it's got to come from somewhere. And it's still a baby of a concept. Like, it's not a Streamy award yet. Like, everyone knows about the Streamies on the internet. Like, that's a very big thing. So it's just doing the groundwork to get the name known more. And ultimate goal would be to have it in a position, I don't know how this would be possible, but where you don't have to promote it. Like, it's just a thing.
There's no requirements to promote the Gundies whatsoever. We don't say that whatsoever. Honestly, our job is to promote it. We're the promoters. Influencers, of course, some people don't have to. They just see their names on there and they're going, oh yeah, I know that person. I'm just going to vote for them just cause.
Okay, have you guys seen stats that back that up? Like, someone just got nominated organically, and they just won the popular vote, but they didn't really campaign for it. Have you seen that?
I don't know if I can say anyone specific from last year, but that was definitely the case for a couple of the nominees.
Yeah, Matt. He didn't win, but he was up there.
So it's, and once again, that's a popular vote thing. Yeah. Like, the guys that have the biggest, like, we're not shying away from that at all. It is what it is. Right. We're not, I can't
even try and make that up. I'm not going to say, like, if I entered it, I have 15,000 followers, and so that doesn't even. I just want to be with them and just kind of, that's the whole purpose, that we can all be
I give you guys some leeway because this is a new thing. So you did it last year, you're doing it again. I'm going to assume that as it goes forward, you're going to keep refining this down, right? And figure out ways to make it better. Huh?
I got a question.
So
Go ahead.
I do want to touch on something from the comments real quick. About data mining and
I think
data mining. Selling data to gun-related marketing, or selling data. So, from the marketer inside of me, that's very much part of the thought process. Is there is so much valuable data here on what influencer has pull, whether or not they promote it, and what influencer doesn't. Because even if you promote it or not, the that gap is relatively minuscule,
Mhm.
because if you have a strong audience, you have a strong audience. So it was very intriguing to see who was blowing smoke up your ass and who's actually performing well. Now, the way we have used that last year, going into this year, I guess, was when we're working with companies, we have genuine data on who is worth working with, whether that's giving a product to, whether it's throwing money at to create content. We have genuine data on who is legit and who isn't.
And we want to clarify that was, once again, internal. That was kept internal. That was not a list that we sold to companies. That was not information we gave to companies. That was us going, okay, this person can form. Remember, we still own a marketing firm. So if X company goes, hey, we're launching a release of this new product, like, okay, that person would work pretty good. Let's see how we can see that. But once again, to clarify, everybody out there, it's all internal. None of this was ever meant to go be sold or be given, because that's why we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a one-up as a marketing firm. It's very valuable, for us to have. I don't think we'd ever give that up, because it is at the end of the day, it is a tool. Like, I mean, even though we're not monetizing off of the Gundies, it's an asset, and we should be utilizing that.
I think Brian Quick was talking about stuff like tracking cookies and stuff like that for the actual people who log in. You put a tracking cookie on there, then you can see what their shopping habits are and stuff like that.
I don't.
Well, he's a lot smarter than us.
Yeah, he's apparently a lot smarter than us, because we don't.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff, they actually do stuff like that, and I know he's kind of technical, so I think he knows.
Yeah, are you referring to this comment? Sounds like data mining for these guys to sell their data for gun-related marketing companies.
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about, because I know Brian Quick's pretty technical, and a lot of big companies, when they do this, they put tracking cookies on the user software, and then they mine data of shopping habits and stuff like that, and then they go ahead and turn and sell that data to other people, saying these are trends within the gun market.
Oh yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Now, full transparency, that would have been incredible.
That sounds. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds fantastic. But no, we're not.
That's not really where we live.
No, we're not Facebook. So
that would be very intriguing.
Yeah,
intriguing data.
We're boots on the ground. We're boots on the ground guys. Like we are. Once again, our where we live in the space is very just raw.
Now I will tell you.
Well, let me just finish. Like meaning the fact, like the information that we're getting, we're using it for phone calls. We're using it to personally talk to these people that we didn't know about, not embed a GPS tracking, whatever the hell that is. So, that's not what we're
the closest thing that we have that every website you go on is a Facebook pixel.
Oh, yeah.
And what that allows us to do is we'll be running ads on Facebook. Right. If you there's this thing called a funnel, and it's
that's just Facebook
down that hole. It's it's how we target people that show interest in the Gundies.
Right, but that has nothing to do with people that's signing up. That's just for when we promote the Gundies, we want to see if it related well with the audience or not. And if it did, we're going to retarget that. Yeah. But that has nothing to do. That's just external marketing. So.
Right, and I think that like funnels and all that kind of stuff. That's just not you guys. That's anyone doing this kind of stuff. So anyone, for example, doing some kind of giveaway through Facebook and using an app to do that is getting all kinds of different information. Typically, the people who own the apps are going to get the most information out of that, as well as get paid and all. But there's all of these kinds of things are just built into that. Does that sound correct, John? I know you worked with Facebook.
Yeah, I designed a lot of that stuff. So yeah,
right.
So what everything is, you can actually go and you can see like what people have access to, what information. And if you dig deep, I don't want to get off too much on the tangent. It's scary. Facebook knows exactly what you like. They probably know more about you than your spouse does.
They buy something before you bought it.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I would think that as these guys are telling you, and this is me making this assumption here, that, Ben and Will, you've got a business and you're doing lots of stuff outside of the Gundies, right? And a lot of that, like, Guns Daily, that's massive. How big is Guns Daily?
It's got
Don't be humble. Tell us. How many?
1.7 million followers.
Okay, 1.7 million. You know, so
I'm closing in on him though. My TikTok just hit 1 million, so he's got it now. He's got to be careful.
okay, is his TikTok really 1 million?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Excuse
What
me.
he's not mentioning is that it got shut down.
Yeah, so TikTok doesn't like. Well, it didn't get shut down. I'm at 1 million. They put a little blanket over me, so I got to rework my content.
Okay.
And get back up.
It's just like everything else they do in the
Yeah.
Right. So the point I'm trying to make though about these guys is that they've been doing this for a while. They've got, you know, they've already got massive like contact with folks out there, and this is what they do for a living. So I'm not saying, I don't know what kind of business relationships you guys have going on, but you know, I think that from what it sounds like, you're doing this Gundies for the future of building something, right? Like building an award like this and being able to do things. So do you have, because I know people are interested in this, and I think when we were talking about it before, you know, do you have some connection with, for example, what was the name that I think he had Leviathan in his comment. Do you have a connection with that? Do you guys use this database to maybe help some content creators out there get a bigger reach to people? Anything like that going on?
No. Short answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we could. You know, like if the data that we do have, like there's a follow button, we can see the hardcore fans.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can see it twofold. The biggest one is if you vote for the same person every single day, then you know that person's a hardcore fan.
Mm-hmm.
How we're going to utilize that data, that's not something we've thought about. I don't know, because that's very specific. I don't know what you could do with it. You could be like, hey, Kentucky Ballistics, this guy voted for you every day.
Right.
I don't know how that
No,
would be.
I mean, really, once again, it just comes down to our clients throughout the year. You know, they have certain products that they hire us, or marketing campaigns they hire us to do.
Mm-hmm.
It just helps us with our database internally to go, okay, they want to do a new clone MP5. I'm just making an example. And we go, okay, well, you know what? These 3 people are great fits for this. Let's line this up and have that content creator make this content. Then we'll work on the distribution for the product launch, go in line with the client that we're hired, and then we all work together. So there's really no, I mean, so I guess to clarify why we did the Gundies was I got this question, I got memed. Mm-hmm. For some reason, I got memed terribly last week.
Where's the meme? I want to see, where's this meme? Or is it?
There's a whole bunch of them. They went after how fat I got. They kept calling me how fat I was. I was like, what? Really?
Called the COVID-15.
Yeah, they're like, what happened? Did Will eat Ben? Oh, hungry Will. I was like,
that's cool. Okay, come on now. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So someone said, well, why don't you spend all this time and energy picketing or doing political things? And my answer to them, I mean, obviously they're just keyboard warriors. They don't want to respond. This is what we're doing from the advertising side for our community. We're building something that Facebook has no control over. Instagram has no control over. No social media platform has a control over this, what we're doing. This is our contribution to our industry. We're building a media side, and I'm not trying to build a platform. Let's just not get that out of context. I'm not trying to build a new social media platform. That's not what we're doing. Yeah, none of that nonsense. I'm just saying it's a platform to where every year these content creators and companies can go to without restrictions, because we don't know. Listen, in a day from now, YouTube can go, okay, no more. Facebook, no more. Instagram, no more. We don't know that. So we're just trying to do something from a media side that can shed light on our industry. That's it. That's what we're really trying to do.
Okay.
What was the question?
Yeah,
I went on a tangent. But
yeah, John, did you have a follow-up there?
I'm just saying that Shooting Gallery New England is also on the Gundies, and he's out there as well.
Yeah, and he's got this comment. He says, I've said it from the beginning that the Gundy, he said it should be Gundies Shooting Gallery, and he gives smaller channels and people in the gun industry a chance to get a better audience. So let me ask you this along those lines, right? Other than you said that folks coming in and voting, so let's say a bigger content creator that's out there, someone that's got 1 million followers, their followers come in there, and in that category they see other people, and those people get some exposure. Maybe people are like, oh, I'll check this person out. Other than that, do you have anything deliberate that you're doing to help the smaller channels out there? Because I really see mostly the smaller channels working really hard to promote the Gundies. Like now, see, Shooting Gallery NE messed me up with that, but. Right. I see them working really hard, right? Like every day they're out there multiple times. They come on here and they're like, hey, vote for me. Whereas the bigger guys, I see that they might throw up a post here. A whole bunch of people go, they've got scale on their side. So what are you guys doing after this to help out the smaller guys?
So during the Gundies, nothing. We got to stay neutral. The Gundies is meant to break through all the different cliques of the gun industry. Like, there's people that admittedly I'm not a big fan of, but they're nominated because they're, they should be recognized for the effort and the support of the community. After the fact,
this is where the fun part comes in. After the fact,
so
specifically for the smaller creators.
After the fact, a lot of times, and this happened last year, and we were even talking to Sean at We Like Shooting about this, is he went through the Gundies, and he found new talent that he wanted to bring on to
his show,
on his podcast.
Oh, okay.
And what's happening is companies are doing the same thing.
Exactly.
So companies, their internal marketing firm or their firm that they hired, whatever the case may be, or somebody that they feel want to represent them, they're going to the Gundies and finding all these creators that they didn't know were out there. So, and then with that being said, we're also being able to find these people and going, hey, we have these awesome opportunities. Do you want to work with so-and-so? Do you want to do this? Do you want to figure out a way to make this type of content? And it's all coming back full circle at people that even though we have a pretty extensive list, we still don't know everybody. It's physically impossible.
And that's also, side note, that's also why we made it possible for you to apply, because even with how many people we know, it literally is.
We couldn't nominate everybody. That
there's always
sense.
Someone new every day,
right.
And it'd be a circle jerk if we just kept it within the
right.
circle of people.
Especially with so many platforms. I mean, with TikTok. I mean, there's just why we don't want to limit a platform. If somebody has a voice, let it be heard and let them come out in front of everybody else.
But a perfect example, which ironically enough she's being talked about in chat, is Autumn's Armory. She had a video go viral. She's a 7-year-old that would dual wielding the 2 pistols.
Yeah. We called her the next day?
Called her father Randy up, and he said, hey, come down, let's film some stuff for Guns Daily, let's film some stuff with Alex Zedra.
Yeah.
And
and the rest was history.
Yeah, she's blown up, and that story has been told a few times through people that we found on the Gundies from last year, and I'm sure it'll happen again this year. So there's you gotta put in the work though as a smaller creator too. Like you put in the time and effort. I mean, I know a lot of the big guys like Brandon Herrera. He's a really good friend of ours. He was doing YouTube for 4 years, and he got up to 30,000 subs. And then just, I guess almost 2 years ago at this point, all of a sudden he went from 30 to 300, and now he's closing in on 1 million.
Because he never stopped. He knew this was his path in life, and he just never gave up on it. Where a lot of people that are, that they have good followings in the beginning, if they're not consistent and they don't do it, and if they want to make this a real, let's be honest, most of these content creators, this is a real job. This is a real thing. So this is actually how they put food, pay their mortgage, and eat every night by doing this. So if you want to do that like anything else, it takes hard work, and it's a real career. But if you give up and you don't put the effort in, well, then you're not going to get the effort back or the response back.
Yeah, so let me just ask this question of you guys. Did you guys have something to do with Brandon blowing up so much all of a sudden?
No. I wish I could take credit for that.
I would love to say yes. No, that's all Brandon. All him.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just luck draw too.
Yeah. I think it's just the hair. I think it's the hair, basically.
Definitely the hair. He just cut it off though, so it's all downhill from here.
Maybe.
I got a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
How many people applied that got denied?
I've probably denied about 20 people. So we do have some, requirements as in, your total following. It can't be like 100 people.
Right.
We do want to keep it pretty lenient because the voting is relatively self-correcting. I mean, if you get 0 votes, it's the worst thing that happened was that you were on the list.
Are you actually someone that posts about firearms?
Right. Are you?
You can't have 300 posts in. You have a photo with your high point somewhere down. That doesn't make sense.
Right. Are you actually providing value?
Right. Are you
to
actually
the community?
providing value to the community?
What are you doing for the community? And this, I mean, someone mentioned, why do you have to write a 200-word essay? I mean, 200 words is like a tweet, but 200-word essay about yourself to be nominated, because you also have to show interest in wanting to be a part of this rather than just clicking 3 buttons. But
yeah, for some gun guys, it's tough. For me, it's easy to come up with 200. Okay, let me not go all the way down that path.
I can't write.
No, I mean you're also right though, because some people don't want to. It's very hard to talk yourself up. It's very hard.
And that's not what it was about. A lot of it was just, a lot of answers we got this year, because a lot of people got it. They were saying, we just want to support the community, see others. We don't care about if we get votes or not. It was about, let's just support other people. I want somebody else to win. We've had literally people say, hey, pull me out of this category because I want my friend to be nominated. I want them to go.
Yeah.
And we've literally been like, okay, then we removed their name, removed them from the system because they specifically said, I don't want to be competing with them. I'm just going to go vote for them.
Yeah.
Did anybody apply for a category that you thought was the wrong category and you moved them to another category?
Yes, after talking to them. Mm-hmm. So I would email them. I'd say, hey, like I think there was one for
that fits better.
Probably influencer turned entrepreneur. I was like, hey, I think you're probably going to have, after looking through your content, I was familiar with them. I think you're just a better fit for this category. Or, hey, I think you're going to have a better chance of winning in this category because it plays better on your social media. Like, it's more fitting with what you put online. Like, there were a lot of people for influencer turned entrepreneur, which was a new one this year, also a very unique and interesting category. There's a lot of people that took their audience and used it as a way to turn it into a business, but it wasn't very easy to see that in their social media, and I want them to succeed as much as possible as the next guy. So we just put them in a category, maybe like hypothetical, maybe like Breakout Creator of the Year, where it just made more sense.
Yeah. I think some of this, and this is just from me observing it, right? These guys understand a lot of the moving parts behind the scenes, which, some of us may not think about. So if they're looking at it like, this is probably why they want the write-up and other things, so they can help figure out what's the best fit for you. And sometimes you don't see that yourself. So this is why in the olden days, people used to have agents. But now we're kind of like our own agents, which is, to me, a good thing. But that doesn't mean everyone's savvy. Huh?
You're my agent.
I'm your agent? Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I need your wife to be my agent.
Yeah, you're my agent. Yeah, Lola's my agent for sure. But I think, sometimes we don't all see that. Like, a lot of gun guys are like, oh, this gun, it shoot. It shoot good. That's what a lot of gun guys do. Sometimes, right?
You also got to find out what you're good at and what you're passionate at. Like, coming from a writing background, I write, of course. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to go out and do a bunch of gun reviews on my YouTube channel, but one of the things I do in my writing is talk to people. So I developed my YouTube channel to talk to people and have them have a little talk show, kind of like this. Mm-hmm. Hank's inspired me. But yeah, okay. So I agree with Hank on that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask a couple questions about different categories and what they mean. Can I get your definition of a breakout creator and also a crossover creator? Because a lot of people have asked me, what does that mean? So I tell them what I think it means, but since it's your guys' website, can you tell me?
Can I flip that on you for a second? Can you answer what you think it means? Because that'll help us with our thought process.
I'm curious. Not even that. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Which one?
Yeah,
let's hear those categories again.
Breakout creator and crossover creator. Crossover creator, I thought, to me, it means like crossing over from one medium to another. Mm-hmm. Which maybe not.
No, spot on.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're spot on.
Well, yeah, it's twofold. It's
supporting, but staying within both or multiple throughout the entire time. So somebody that like Alex is a great example. Video games went into the video game market, but also shoots guns consistently throughout playing the video game. So that's a crossover creator.
And different mediums in the sense of platforms.
Right, and platforms too.
Yeah.
You know, focused on, they were all Instagram, and all of a sudden they went right to YouTube, or then they went over to TikTok. So you utilized all the social media aspects that was for them. So that's another part of it. So it's twofold on that.
Yeah,
one.
I nominated myself because I'm a writer, mostly, and that's what I'm really known for. Most of my following, I got a small YouTube following, but I got like a pretty sizable writing following. So like, I'm kind of trying to cross.
John, if there was a category for you, I think it would be person most sought out by gun guys who do news stuff.
Oh yeah. For some reason, I joke with Hank and I tell him I'm the YouTube whisperer, because every time there's a big story, I have like all the big gun guys calling me up trying to get information, and Hank's like, "You better not go on their show first."
Yeah, because basically you're my source, right? So if people see you, and I'm not saying like I'm not big for talking about the news stuff, but I think that people see us doing things and they're like, oh, maybe Hank's finding this out from this guy, you know. But it's very competitive in the gun world. What's that?
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like a year ago, I didn't know any YouTubers, and now I know basically all of them. Not for all good reasons, though.
Yeah, well, welcome to the gun world, sir. Welcome.
Well, no, the gun world, but the writing is a little bit from YouTube.
Yeah,
people kind of turn on you a little bit.
Yes. American Gun Chick is out there. Salutations to her. Smash the thumbs ups if you're in here, guys. You know, that helps out. Look, if you hate us, smash the thumbs downs. It doesn't make any difference to me. It's all interaction on YouTube, so I don't care. American Gun Chick says, I literally log on every day to vote. Let me throw this back up here. To vote for Autumn's Armory, laugh out loud, but I also vote for John Crump while I'm there. Love ya, John. These guys can verify. What's that?
We're in a new video. You and I are both in American Gun Chick's video.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I think.
Okay, this is the Disney thing, right?
Yeah, we're in there.
I'm pretty sure I saw that video. I didn't see myself
You're in there.
Okay, and I thought I wouldn't be that hard to miss. Someone's gonna have to send me the exact time code that I was in there. Maybe I was in there for like half a second, you know, or something like that. So. Are you guys? I know you guys. I can see you all looking at the chat. Are there any interesting things out there? I know Ben's pulled some of the comments in the chat out of that to discuss it here.
I don't think anything.
They're pretty much doing it as they come, which all real good questions that everyone's asking. So it's cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me ask this question to the folks out there in the chat. If you have questions, you can hit us with that right now, because I mean we could keep going here, but you know there's probably a bunch of things that'll be cool to talk to these guys about and find out, unless John has some stuff. One, what do you all want to know out there? And two, what's your takeaway from this now? Like actually hearing Will and Ben talking about this and answering your questions. Are you more likely to get involved in this now? Are you less likely? You know, either way it goes, let us know.
And there's also no pressure to vote.
Right.
We've had there's been a substantial amount of people, you know, looking once again at the data on the back end of visitors to the website that have perused, and you can see page views and all that, you know, so you see where they're going and how long they're spending on each page. Yeah. And they're looking through different influencers, but they're not necessarily voting, which is completely fine, you know, but that tells me that they're actually looking for different content creators, which at the end of the day, once again, the exact point, the voting is what gets you, you know, is the reason to go to the website in the first place.
I think the biggest hesitation on the voting, you know, and I think it's always going to be, no matter how many years go on, people always think it's going to be some sort of email grab or scam. And I can't say it, and I don't know how. I mean, besides putting it on the website, we're not selling you know.
Which it is. It's in the.
Yeah, it is, but making it even bigger. I think that's one of the biggest standouts. People go, I'm going to enjoy it, look at everything, but I'm not going to go all the way.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And we don't want, if you don't want to, can't win it.
Yeah, Lola is
no
asking,
problem.
and I think some other people asking, what's the voting cutoff date? Or Gorillas and Guns says, how long is the running going on for?
Last day of the month. So so what is that? 31st.
December 31st.
Okay.
31st. Yep.
And
then we'll.
So for everyone who follows me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you're still gonna get spam for the next 20-some days.
and then someone wants to know where to go, and I'll throw up the page here on the screen. If you're, let me see, hold on, press the right button here. So it's thegundies.com, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so you can sign up to vote. And I noticed just scrolling through it here, there's something, discover influencers, prizes for voters. So I think these guys have taken some time to at least give you the kind of information that you'd be looking for. So you can, here, let's see, let's click on sign up for vote. It's pretty straightforward. First, last name, email address, password, country, city, and then you agree to the terms so far as that. And then there's a learn more section here as well. So it goes through a lot of the questions that you guys are having right now. If you're interested in finding out about that. Black Diamond Guns and Gear hit us with another super chat. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Don't forget to vote for Black Diamond Guns and Gear. Okay. Campaigning going on here. You know what? If this actually, I mean, I like this because I like getting the getting the super chats in. I guess that's always a strategy or something that people can use to get the votes going out there. So did you? I know when I ran into you guys, I think in the airport for SHOT Show this year. I think it was this year. Seems like a long time ago. You said that there will be some surprises. Can you tell us who won for 2020 and what were the surprises?
The prizes?
No, surprises. Like, yeah, I think you guys said to me, "Oh, you're going to be surprised to figure out like people who actually won these things." It's not like, was it only just the big guys, or were there some folks in there who were not as big but still managed to get their audience to get out there and support them?
Yeah, we'll pull up the.
We're gonna pull up it from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell you the winners from last year. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll just go through it and I'll tell you the standouts. Best gun reviewer was Grand Thumb, which I don't think it was too surprising. Most entertaining content creator was Brandon Herrera, which he was in the running with Demolition Ranch. So
Kentucky Ballistics, Warrior Poet Society. That was a cool one.
So that's surprising. And Brandon is entertaining. I mean, I look at Brandon's stuff, and I don't, I mean, as guys who do this, we don't necessarily have time to look at everyone's stuff. But Brandon, he's funny, and I meme him myself. I can actually show you guys just to be. Hold on, this is going to be a little bit self-serving, I guess. But I don't know if you're aware of this, but I actually created a meme of Brandon the other day to share one of my own videos. And then I sent it to him, because, I think he's cool. I wasn't really trying to get at him or anything like that. Oh, where is it? Okay, listen, keep going. I'll find it and I'll share it with you guys. Okay, go to the next one.
Most influential was Military Arms Channel.
Okay, that
And
makes sense.
they were in the running give him the running, too.
With Jerry Michalak, Tactical Rifleman, and Coleone.
Okay.
And then Best Outdoorsman was Last Line of Defense, Sportswoman Courtney, Kendall Jones, and Allie Butler. Influencer of the Year was Warrior Poet Society, which is really cool. I mean, he's always been a big supporter of the 2A.
Yeah.
He was right up there with the Gun Collective, once again, Brandon, and then Tim from Military as well. Photographer of the Year was an interesting one. I think Boots Boobs went out. Rob Cano, photography, or RC Tactical, I believe, is his Instagram. Awesome dude, by the way. Like, he does some killer work.
Yep.
Yeah. So wait, there's someone called Boots and Boobs?
No.
Is that what I heard? Sorry.
How do you put this nicely? They just don't wear a lot of clothes in the photos. That's
okay. All right.
No, it's so from the data standpoint on that side of things, like we talked about it earlier, like how back in the day it was gun bunnies, right? Like, and the industry's mostly moved away from that, but through voting, we saw that is still a very powerful persuader. You know, at least in this case.
How
But we also
come-
had people like.
I'm sorry. How
Go
come
ahead.
how come you guys didn't have like a specific gun bunny like male and female category? Because I think that would be awesome.
We almost did.
You know, we almost did, and this year. So now we have most influential man, most influential female.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where internally, that's where stuff gets where we have to really sit there and go. You know, as much as we would love to say gun bunny, I don't think that's being good. I don't think that at the end of the day, that's contributing good to our community.
Okay, you think it's derogatory? Because, for example, Brendan Herrera can win Gun Bunny of the Year male, hands down.
Out of context, I think it can be dangerous.
Right. That's the problem, because we're explaining so much on just the basic stuff.
Right.
I think if we did that, people would just come, like, it would just take so much explaining that it just wasn't worth it. Year 2, maybe year 5.
But I mean, and I would think, so look, I agree with you guys. There is, like, people try to make the Gun Bunny thing into a bad thing, right? But there's a lot of things. First of all, we're not really supposed to be politically correct around here. That's one. You know? And two, most of the people in our community are dudes. And it's like, why deny even that because I do it myself. I will look at some things because that's a beautiful woman with a gun. Hello.
You can't ignore it. I mean, it's yeah, you can't.
Yeah. But it's tough. I get it. It could be bad, right?
Yeah, we just want to have a stronger stance, you know, get a couple more years in before we can kind of open up to more, you know.
And we are. So we are gonna like most likely to survive the apocalypse. That's pure fun.
Like that's kind of our
we want more. We want more of those.
Okay.
You know, and I think we could definitely improve on how we explain the categories. That's something we've talked about multiple times. Like best shooter, right? Like, how do you define best shooter? In our opinion, and we haven't done. I'll be the first to say we haven't done a good job explaining this. Some people have caught on, but it's so much more than how fast of a shooter you are. You know, it's you know, how strong you manipulate a firearm. Are you teaching other people how to shoot? You know, are you?
It's a very hard category to explain because it's not just for pro shooters.
Right.
You know, it's guys that are representing, you know, the proper way to shoot and very good, and gals, and that are very very good at it.
Yeah.
And they're consistent with their content. See, that's another thing we want to be clear on. You know, there's people out there that just do some fun trick videos and then they do a couple serious videos or whatever the case may be. These best shooters are people that are like, this is what we do. We're nailing this home. And they're very consistent with that content, whether it be pro shooting or, you know, just training.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's, you know, but you couldn't, like, we couldn't not have a category best shooter in something that revolves around guns.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of just,
yeah,
it's an intriguing category. You know, like Jerry won it last year, which he should, you know, that makes the most sense. And then you also had like Honest Outlaw in there. You know, and he puts out great videos. Same with 22 Blinkster.
Yep.
You know, he's trick shots. You know,
so that's still like that's in that same category.
Yeah.
Of that.
By the way, a lot of what I'm hearing from the people that won, it makes sense to me, right? American Gun Chick says Gun Bunny of the Year would make them look like total D-bags, I guess, you know, for doing something like that. How about just male Gun Bunny? I mean, that's something I might actually campaign for. I would want to be like, you know, best male Gun Bunny or something. I don't know, because I think as a guy, that kind of stuff doesn't faze me. But.
Yeah, that would come in way better. I think, you know, that could be sooner into lineup for sure. Because once again, it's not quite, you know, there. So I think that would be better.
Yeah, it doesn't have as bad connotations for. Listen, there's a lot of professional women who do this that are professional, talented, skilled, all that kind of stuff. I don't, you know, but there are a lot of categories of what we do, and I get it. You know, this is the second year, so let's go back to giving us. Go ahead.
Sure, and I mean, I'm going to get to it. We've never talked about this, so I'd like to. So most likely to survive the apocalypse was IV-88. No surprises there, I don't think. I mentioned best shooter. So I don't think that we have this category this year, but most innovative brand in the community was Aero Precision last year.
Okay.
Side note, we did give Brand of the Year category, which is something we came up with. It was not voted. To Brownells.
We let Brownells take that category.
The reason being, they've been a supporter of the concept of an influencer or a content creator since day one.
Yeah.
I think they're one of the pioneers in the gun industry of that. So that's why we gave that award.
Yeah, and let me can I just jump in here on that one if you guys don't mind? So I'm a fan of the Brownells guys. Do you want to know what I told them when they told me they won that? I mean,
Yes,
I'm a fan of the Brownells guys. You know what I told them? I was like, you guys totally bought that one. And they were like, okay.
They didn't even know.
No, they didn't. No. This is what I told them when I ran into them at SHOT Show. They're like, oh, we won an award. And I was like, yeah, you totally bought it. But, they're good sports. And I agree with what you're saying that for a long time, when I talk about people looking at influencers and all of that kind of stuff the wrong way, I do really think that those guys over at Brownells don't do that. They don't really care. They deal with small guys, big guys, all that kind of stuff. So kudos to them, but I'm always going to get at them.
You got to. I mean, Josh and the whole crew over there.
They're great, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
People.
Yes, absolutely.
So finishing up, I got to preface this one by it was interesting timing. The category is most innovative brand of the year. From a data standpoint, it also told us something on how the public actually feels, depending on no matter who is the owner of said company. For the most innovative brand of the year, we had Cloud Defensive, Flux Defense, CMMG, and the winner was Terran Tactical.
Oh.
So okay. As you can imagine, back then, and probably still to date, but especially right at that time period.
It was so let's be exact. Let me just back this up.
This was SHOT Show.
Correct.
Right.
So our party was Monday. So the Gundies were Monday. The announcement, that whole situation, was Tuesday.
It broke Tuesday morning.
Yeah. So you guys.
Once again, we are but non-partisan, not biased, whatever fancy terms you want to use. We just, But what that told me was that the majority of the community, outside of the core community that we all live in, whether it's the meme pages or whatever, didn't care. Like that, they don't look at that stuff, and I mean, probably never will, right? And I don't have anything. I don't know, Terran. I can't say good or bad about him.
I've met him many times.
There's three sides to the story.
Yeah, we all got sideswiped by that stuff at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
So I don't think, and. Looking at it from a point of view right now, like I think what Flux put out there was pretty good. I think it was something really interesting and all of that. But at the same time, I could see, who's managed to, like you were talking about making bridges and crossing over and stuff like that. I mean, Terran Tactical completely, brought back the, what do we say? How do we put this? Like the gun fu, right? Like where you could go to an action movie and enjoy the shooting and all that kind of stuff going on in the movie. It's unfortunate how that whole thing went down.
I just, at the end of the day, there's three sides to every story. I don't know them. I don't want to know them.
Once again, our point is that had nothing to do.
Right.
We got dragged through that.
Yeah, we got dragged through that whole damn thing. The Gundies got a whatever reason, but
Right.
And it got brought up again this year.
Yeah, right. And there's people right now, I don't know, Black Diamond Guns and Gear said the Precious, so that just gives you an idea. Gun guys, this is how we get down.
I talked to my editor about doing a story on that, and the first thing I said is like, okay, I want to do a story on the Precious, and he's like, we're not touching it. I'm like, all right, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, this year we wanted to just freshen it up. That's why we added the categories, dropped some categories. I'll tell you, internally between me and him, my God, and Thea is part of this too, picking out categories is really hard.
That's harder than voting.
Oh my God. Like for us trying to figure out what goes into a category and how to make that, that's a lot of work.
There's a lot of really good categories that left to the wayside. and I think we'll continue to change them.
Yeah, keep changing them consistently throughout, each.
There's a couple staples that'll stay, but we want to, change it up so it's different people that are winning.
Right. Exactly. Open up more avenues, I guess, to different people that win.
I think
like most requested last year.
Go ahead. No. Hit me with it.
Most requested last year was Breakout Creator of the Year. Like, hey, this guy just blew up. Like, I really want to vote for them because they might not win most influential or one of those, but they need to be recognized or should be recognized for this massive growth that they've had during the year.
And I guess to touch on that quick, so you actually asked, John, what is the definition? What is our definition of Breakout Creator? I believe you brought that up before, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think we covered that.
Yeah, so we didn't cover that. So, touch on that a little
back
bit.
to that.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I've been waiting to go back to that. But I was just giving you guys.
Oh, so do you want to give? I'm curious. Do you want to give your thought process first, and then we can give ours, or vice versa?
Sure, I can. When I think about Breakout Creator, I think about someone who came on the scene and went from a couple thousand subscribers to a couple 100,000 subscribers in a short time period. Someone who just exploded, went viral. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically
nail on the head. And
I would agree with that.
Of that, to be qualified, they had to have not only, obviously that is a qualification, but stay on that train. Meaning, was that actually them? Was it somebody that had 1,000 followers and you look previous to their post? So let's say they had 50 posts or 50 videos before that. Were they still doing the same type of content? Mm-hmm. And then that one video, that one shining light moment got them to the 100,000, 200, whatever million. Did they then continue to do the exact same thing they were doing at stage one? That was the most important thing that we looked for.
Well, and so to that point, there's also some people that are smaller in there that maybe haven't broken through yet, but we talked about this internally. I wanted to put them in there because maybe this is the start of that. Mm-hmm. Looking through their content, they're onto something. Once again, use the platform because it doesn't hurt anyone, right? It's still use that platform as a chance to maybe give them that final boost they needed to break out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you have things with national publicity. I don't want to butcher the name. I really like
it's also not just about how many followers.
Gun Snatcher. What's a good one? Guns. What's the guy that grabbed the gun?
Yeah.
Here's a good example of that. His Instagram is he's the gentleman that we saw on every news station across the world that grabbed the gun out of the rioter's hand, cleared it, did everything in the most perfect way you could ever imagine.
The security guy?
Yep. Shooter. Yes. So Shooter Rugi on Instagram, and he goes by Weapon Snatcher.
Weapon Snatcher. That's a great example of a guy that, got national publicity, and it turned, it was good.
Capitalized on
it, and kept running straight.
Yep. Putting out fantastic.
Very good content too, by the way.
So what I would like to do, I don't know if John probably has some more stuff, but before we get into it here, a couple of things. I would like to go over stuff that, some things that I think that might be cool. It might be cool to do some worst. That would be cool. But,
Razzie?
Yeah, to do some worst, like the worst person who went viral, like that guy who went...
Grandmaster J.
Okay, well, there's one. But what was the name of the guy that went viral on IG and everyone was he was trying to get everyone to come save him because they were coming to get his guns?
Oh, God. I was in New Jersey.
No, that was
Whiskey something.
Yeah, 2 hours away. I was 2 hours away from him.
Oh, no, not that guy.
Yeah. I will never forget this because I was at a bar. And I was calling.
Of course.
I'll never forget. I was calling some agents that I knew in the area that I done work with because we do procurement too. Mm-hmm. And wow, that was a crazy situation.
I remember that, trying to figure out how legit that was.
Yeah.
He went from 1,000 followers to 100,000 followers overnight.
Yeah. I think stuff like that would be stuff like. I'm sorry, stuff like that would be great, not that we want to big those people up anymore, but just some type of like a Razzie section in there would be a fun kind of thing, I guess.
That's one of the guys that got me attacked on because when I I wrote an article about it, like when it was going on, and I actually talked to some of the people that were involved,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, no, it's not a red flag, and basically explained what was going on. So I wrote an article explaining to everyone what was going on, and people are like, you just hate them. I'm like, I don't know them.
Right.
You
Yeah.
guys, what's going
People
on?
jump on the bandwagon. It's
Yeah.
that one hurt. That made the entire community
Absolutely.
look bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to prevent.
Yeah.
But,
Or
yeah,
you
no.
could do best meme like Brandon does, which, by the way, I found the meme, so I got to share this real quick in here for everyone. Boom! So I put this on one of my videos. We interviewed an ATF, a retired ATF agent. He did like 27 years in the ATF, Vincent Sheffield. And in one of those snippets that I put out, we talked about who does the ATF actually go after, and the premise was, do they go after gun guys? So when I was making the thumbnail for that, and this idea just popped in my head to use Brandon. And the whole time editing this in Photoshop, I was just giggling like a little schoolgirl, which I sent him a copy of this, and he thought it was beautiful because, it's Brandon, and that's just how he is. So
Amazing.
yeah, there should be like best Photoshop work or meme or something in there. That would be funny. And then another one. Go ahead.
Oh no, we were gonna have the best meme page.
We took that out.
We took
probably
it out.
We
took it out like
the last
minute.
week before we announced what the categories were going to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, short story is that we want to expand this outside of just this 30-day voting time period because there are so many crazy, awesome categories. We want to do more fun stuff,
and more traditional media too, like print,
Mm-hmm.
right?
like print, and people, right? Like that was a big part. Yeah, exactly. That's what we wanted to showcase.
Mhm.
But it was just once again, it's like we think 15 categories is what it's ever going to
it's
be.
a lot.
It's almost
For the-
15.
for the-
That's it.
for the main voting.
Right.
We want it. We're still figuring out how to do it. We would love to do something throughout the year.
Yeah, like once a month, come up with a fun, like a goofy category,
Mhm.
and then like everybody can vote. There's no there's no nothing. It's just like everybody go there, and it's like best beer to the month,
Mm-hmm.
and then people can nominate, have fun, vote, and they win. Something like I don't know. Something like that.
Funniest guy busted at the airport with guns trying to go in his carry-on luggage. Something, I don't know. That's just an idea. And then I'm going to get this question in for Shooting Gallery NE that he asked us a little bit while back. He says, will you guys ever expand the Breakout creator category to have nominees be under, say, like 5K subs or something like that? Like, so
Yeah,
for
so
smaller
I
entry.
I kind of touched on that. Yeah, I mean, we want to. That category is very much like a highlight category of the up and comers. It's not necessary. While it is about the people that exploded, that's not all it is. It's also about highlighting, the next, not necessarily the next generation. Because
Well, like Autumn's a great example.
The next.
She doesn't have a million
Creators.
followers. She doesn't have that many followers. I think she's at like 15,000, maybe 20,000.
You mean 50,000?
Does she have that much? I think so. Jeez.
Where
Seriously?
is she on YouTube, Facebook? What's
YouTube and
YouTube,
She's
Instagram,
on both?
yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
54.
Well, I was talking about Instagram.
20,000 on
specifically. Yeah,
Instagram.
20,000 on Instagram. But still, I mean, she's not like, but she is. She's up and coming. So yes, that is a good question. The 5K, we're gonna, I guess, we can. It's pretty much what that's meant to be anyhow, right now, for the most part.
Yeah. Len Holt says, yeah, keep it light and fun. Don't go negative stuff. We got plenty of that. So, you know what? I can't argue that. So, John, what other questions did you have here for these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea, and I think by talking to you guys, we put a lot of the concerns out there, because the concerns that I had, people were coming up and asking me about, email scraping, stuff like that, and I think we kind of put it out there, and plus, no one was really sure who was behind it, so, and I think that scared a lot of people. They were worried that it was some nefarious group behind it for some reason.
A bunch of Chinese.
Yeah, it was that guy's girlfriend who turned out to be a Chinese spy. The guy that pushed and stuff.
Yeah, is it Swallows?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Swalwell.
Solo. I don't know why I said
Swalwell,
swallows.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is funny you say that because
Mhm.
today we were filming a video
Mhm.
and we were working with Classic Firearms today, and because we were setting up for something else and they came into the office. I'm like, yeah, we're sorry, it's been crazy. We didn't respond because we were working on the Gundies, and they looked at us. They're like, wait, what?
That's you guys?
They're like, wait, that's you? And we're like, yeah, we run the Gundies. And they're like,
Mhm.
oh. Like, it is funny. Most people don't know, who it is, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that. I don't know.
Hey,
Yeah.
average Joe, this year is going to be a lot more than 85,000. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
What is it?
So he says
Cool.
so they figured
So-
out a way to gather 85K plus emails of the most engaged audience from all influencers for free, then sell private access to that list to a select few sponsors for top dollar. Well played. That's the comment from Average Joe Tube.
I mean, capital. We've talked about this. At the end of the day, that's not the end goal. It's
Mhm.
definitely.
Well, it's not what we do, yeah.
That's the whole point of being a sponsor about something.
Mhm.
Like you got to get something out of it, and it helps support. I mean,
I don't think he's
The
necessarily
website,
hating.
a lot
Maybe
more-
a little bit, but he said, "I wish I would have come up with it first." Listen, it takes a lot of work to do this kind of stuff, and I always tell people to expect someone to do a lot of work with no return is insanity. This is one of the problems we have in the gun community. And I'm not saying because I don't think Average Joe feels this way, by the way, but there are people out there who feel like, the folks, the content creators out there should make good videos for them, do it on a regular basis, and fight for the Second Amendment, do all that kind of stuff, and be broke, have nothing, no soup for you, And I mean, how can you believe in freedom and capitalism and all and the American dream and all that kind of stuff, and at the same time expect folks to be broke out there? And I think because folks have this kind of like attitude, there's actually a lot of content creators who pretend to be broke to please you guys, and that to me is disingenuous, right? I think we all need to like be a little bit more understanding than that with each other. If these guys are doing all of this work and putting this together and try to build it and make it into something, it starts somewhere and it keeps growing and it ramps up from there. If they mess up and make mistakes or do the wrong thing, then there's an opportunity for them to grow and learn. I mean, they're coming on, taking these questions and stuff like that. And to me, that's a big thing because now that gives you the input to help influence this. So,
Yeah, Average Joe says
I
he's not
couldn't-
hating, and he's 110% capitalist. He
oh yeah,
idea.
Like,
Oh,
no, exactly.
I couldn't agree with that statement more. I mean, and the fact that you just touched on about the amount of work that goes into that. The day I graduated college, I opened up my first company, and I did that by digging holes. I owned a fence company. And my normal 9 to 5 never, since I was 21 years old, has never existed. The amount of work and hours, and we don't have a 9 to 5. I don't wake up and go to bed at 7 o'clock or get home. I'm never home. I'm working more than I've ever worked in my life on top of other companies, making sure this website and all this. To sit there and say we're not seeing any money from it, sure, we're making a little bit, but when you break down the hours, you're talking about we're literally sweeping floors for 3 years at McDonald's to the equation of what the monetary amount is. So that's where the hard part comes in. The hours are ungodly, and the amount of work that it takes to do this.
That's where the long-term, thought process comes into play because it's just building up our company. It's building recognition. And once again, it's an asset. And Average Joe, on the flip side, I'm not hating on you either. Like, at the end of the day, we live in America, which is all about capitalism. And then the Gundies is literally about voting for the person you love or the person you hate. Well, I guess the person you love. You wouldn't vote for the person you hate. So it's to voice your opinion in that regard. But like we've been saying from the beginning, we're not shying away from that at all. Like, this is definitely something that's very valuable to us as a company. The amount of effort put into it has been astronomical. And I mean, that goes for us or anyone else that started their own business or any content creator. Like people love to hate on content creators, thinking that all they do is go film a video and that's it.
Now the work, the editing. Oh my God, there's so much work.
Content creation guys content creators are the busiest people I know, and they're like, you get to see the 10% of the coolest shit that they get to do. I
love that. That's what I get personally, because everybody knew me as the gym guy, and now everyone's like, oh, what do? You travel all the country, you hang out with Post Malone, and you do this. I'm like, guys, I'm just showing you that one tiny snippet of my life, just because that's my fun part. No one knows what it took to get to that position. No one has any idea of why I'm out there. Why was I out at Drive Tanks? I wasn't out at Drive Tanks just because I went out there and just to show off that I'm hanging out with these awesome people. No, it took me many years to get to that point. And I think a lot of people forget that. They just assume you're just doing cool shit.
I mean, they just don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they see one side of it. It's just all perception.
Yeah. I mean, you have to realize in a vacuum, people make up stuff. We all do it. I do it. Right? Before, so for example, I knew you guys were behind this because I've run into you guys like, hey, we're doing this. But if someone asked me and I never sat down like this, never took the time to actually like hash out all these details, and someone asked me, I'm just gonna go, oh, this is what I think it is, right?
That's why we're doing this, because
Hank's gonna call you part Jamaican.
There's no way to explain it all unless we do this. It's impossible. I mean, it's such a big concept. It's so new. Yeah. There's no way that everyone will understand it, and we get that. But the people that do, usually, it once they get it, they get it.
Night Train says Mr. Gundy #1, which I get is Will. That's Will. Mr. Gundy #1 was once a gym owner. We should compare notes. He was actually, let me see if I could find, and I do want to plug your, I know you've got some things going on here that we want to plug. So, let me show this one. So can I show Forge Relations or no? Do you want me to show that website to folks out there? Okay, so if you want to find out more about these guys, go to Forge Relations. This is the website here. It's a nice McLaren, by the way, very sexy. I'm definitely a fan of cars in general. And then if you search Will Renke, which I'm giving away your real name here, but if you search this online, you will notice that there's some like bodybuilding dude. Let's see if we could pull up some of these pictures. Is that you?
We're refreshing. It should
Muscle
be
RX Muscle Contest Gallery.
Yeah.
Is that you? That's actually you. Boom! There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't. I would have to see the tats to verify it, but there you go. So he wasn't. He wasn't.
Yeah, the tattoos are. Yeah, they don't lie. The tattoos.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. There's the tats. We could go back. We can go back to that for a second. Listen, man. Hey, that's awesome. That was skinny you right there.
Yeah. I think I ate that meat over there. Apparently.
Now you got the dad bod. I don't know if you're actually a dad.
Yeah.
But
no, just have a couple dogs. But yeah, I would say I have the dog bod. I don't know where it is, but yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so there you go. He it takes discipline to do that too, by the way. To work out and competitively, all that kind of stuff. Everything takes something to do. So M. Gabriel wants you to flex down. I don't know if you're actually.
It's gonna be a little jiggle. I don't know how good it's gonna be.
You have to go look at the pictures. Go look at the pictures.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. Do whatever you want to do with that. And Night Train says, here's another fact. I too was once a competitive bodybuilder.
All right.
Cool.
That's
Kudos.
Awesome.
Let's see. Okay, very cool. All right, John, did you have some other questions, or do you want to get into some other stuff?
Lola's laptop is dying, guys. I'm gonna grab his.
We're grabbing a charger.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get into other stuff.
All right.
I'm gonna plug my auction here.
Yeah. So let me pull that up. Let me pull up the auction. So explain to folks why this auction is back up. on Gunbroker, because we have shown this before here.
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
channel.
the dude that won with a bid of 22.75 beat out the second place guy who had a bid of 22.70, and he decided, you know what, I changed my mind.
Okay, and this auction is for your niece, right?
My niece, who has the EPG, which is brain cancer. It's a very, very serious brain cancer. So with this money, she's getting some experimental treatments that's in California, which means they don't pay for her flights or lodging or anything like that. I mean, even though she can stay at the Ronald McDonald House, but the flights are still expensive. So we're helping pay for that, and also some comfort stuff. For example, we raised money because everything I do, my Patreon goes to my niece. Like all my YouTube revenue goes to my niece. All my super chats go to my niece. So we were able to raise enough money to actually get her a laptop. What happened is she can't really walk around too much, so she's stuck on the couch. And her laptop is like her connection to the outside world. You know, she can't go out. She doesn't go, especially with COVID. She can't go out anywhere, so she's stuck at home. And she spilt milk on her laptop and destroyed it. So, we mentioned that because she came on my podcast and we mentioned that, and she's like, I want a laptop because I destroyed my laptop. And at the time, I mean, I was gonna buy it out of my own pocket at that time. I was like, whatever. But like a lot of people in my chats just started throwing money, and like within like literally 10 minutes, we had enough to buy her a new laptop, and we did. And I had posted a picture on Instagram of her with her laptop, and she wants everyone out there that helped do that, just that she really appreciates it. She cried when she got it because she was in the hospital for a few days, and when she got home from the hospital, she was in the hospital for like 4 days, and she got home, and they're like, well, you know, too bad you don't have your laptop. She's like, yeah, I know. She's like, well, you can use this that Uncle John and his viewers bought you. And she's crying and stuff like that. So we're trying to raise money by auctioning off this custom built Mandalorian bullpup. And hopefully the person will pay this time.
Yeah, I'll show that again for the folks who are looking. So it's on Gunbroker. Yeah, it's on Gunbroker. If you're looking for it, just search Custom Mandalorian Bullpup charity auction, and you guys will be able to see it. As well as there is a fundraiser on GoFundMe, and it's called Isabella Hammer and Family. If you're looking for that, and it's a tough thing to deal with at any age, but when you're a kid, it's even tougher. So
yeah, we got our puppy and everything. That's why Drive Tanks invited me out for that, even if I don't win, to do a story on them. But since all of my money is going to this, I have to win, guys, to get out to Drive Tanks.
Okay, all right.
I had to circle that all around.
All right.
About this, kind of emotional, so I have to throw something in there.
Yeah. DCG44 is saying, John Crump, thoughts on the Texas lawsuit?
I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
No.
Talking to people behind the scenes about the lawsuit, I don't think it's going to be successful. But who knows? Like I've always told you, Hank, even though that we know what we think the court's going to do, sometimes they just do the opposite. So who knows? But from talking to people behind the scenes, some lawyers behind the scenes that are directly involved with it, it's basically a Hail Mary, and they don't think the chances of the Supreme Court stepping in and stopping anything are big. But if they do, then it would change the whole ball game. But no one really thinks that's going to happen. It's more of optics than anything else, and that's from people who actually work on the case behind the scenes, saying it's more about the optics and the actual chance of winning.
Yeah. What do you guys think about all this? Are you following this stuff closely? It's political
not
stuff.
Closely. Yeah.
I would say not closely enough.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it's, they're making the views that they got to make, but I don't think it's going to turn into anything at this point. I think it's too late, to be completely honest.
Yeah. What it's about, what they're hoping to do mostly is to put a light on a bunch of the stuff that's went on to try to prevent it from happening in the future. So it's still important that it gets filed and goes forward, but the purpose of it is not to actually overturn the election or anything like that. It's about the future, and the lawyers involved, they're smart people, and they all realize that. I think Trump even realizes that, but I think it's about the future. It's about 2024 and beyond. Actually, it's about next year's election and beyond.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, we've got so for example, we have the stuff that's going on in Georgia, the runoff elections and stuff like that. So we've been talking about that here.
Georgia is important. My son I was going to be down there this weekend. I'm not going to be down there this weekend anymore. My son had a reaction to a bug bite, so I'm staying put in Virginia. It's a long story. Hank knows about it.
Yeah.
But I really wish I could have been down there already. But we are, if you go to gunowners.org/volunteer, you can actually sign up to do stuff like make phone calls. Even if not in Georgia, you make phone calls. There's a little app that we give you, and there's a script, and it's very, very easy. Most of the time, people don't pick up, so you're just leaving voicemails basically most of the time. And you just read off a script saying, hey, we want you, make sure you get out. And it's targeted, so you're not going to get like Democrats. It's targeted to Republican voters, just to encourage a get out the vote type thing. And if you're in Georgia, you can go door knocking this weekend. You can meet a lot of, I was going to be down there this weekend, but now I can't. But you can meet a lot of big YouTube celebrities. I think I know Jared from Guns and Gadgets is going to be there.
I heard that, yeah. And I'm going to throw up something on the screen while we're talking about that. I do have a video, I think, that if Lola hasn't turned it on the main Hank Strange channel, it should be on soon. But there's December 12th, there's 2 events. One in Savannah at 9 a.m., and that's at 9 Line Apparel.
Yeah, 9 Line Apparel.
Yeah.
Been gracious enough to let us use their offices to gather. That's why I'm wearing my 9 Line Apparel GOA sweatshirt.
Yes. And then the other one is in Smyrna, which is at Adventure Outdoors, and that one's at 10:30, and all that stuff is up on the screen, or you can find this info at GOA. And if you guys could do something about that, I should have a video that's going to get turned on at some point there. And if you know what, listen, regardless of where you are, if you know people in in Georgia, you can hit them up. And just remind them to get out there and vote, and at least we'll be able to try to have a firewall, so to speak.
Yeah. Kevin Knight's going to be down there.
Yeah.
Basically, what's going to happen if we lose both seats? We, the pro-gun side, loses both seats. Schumer's already said he's open to killing the legislative filibuster, which is known as nuclear option 3. And if they kill that, then they're going to be able to push whatever gun laws they want through. And then another thing that they're trying to do is they're trying to expand the Supreme Court, which will make our real firewall, the Supreme Court, useless, because they're all going to lean anti-gun. So, I mean... And I honestly want these guys to win, because I don't want to be running around in the woods yelling Wolverines holding my AK-47 above my head.
Yeah.
I think I come to that.
Absolutely. Okay, so listen, I'm going to switch over. We've got a couple of minutes here. I want to switch over to a gun thing before we get out. And I don't know if either one of you guys have heard of this. So recently, Lola and I got a Tesla. I don't know if anyone else out there does, but I wanted to, find out, how was it? We got a Model Y. It was actually pretty cool. And, Tesla's been in the news, right? Elon Musk, I think, actually moved to Texas. So here's a news article that I'm going to throw up here for you guys. What would you say to getting a Tesla AR-15?
It's from the Babylon Bee.
I know.
I thought it was a joke. Is it not a joke?
It is a joke. It is a joke.
It is a joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Before everyone else
starts.
No, I've already got I've literally gotten 30 or 40 emails saying, "Are you going to write about the Tesla AR?" I'm like,
It would be cool. I would get one just because I like AR. I like lowers, man, with all kinds of. How much you want to bet someone puts a Tesla thing on there, but you don't want to get sued by Tesla?
I think Elon Musk might do it.
I mean, honestly, if it was real,
Mm-hmm.
I would 100% buy one. And this is my reason why.
Mm-hmm.
His reach is so massive
Mm-hmm.
to the general public, to America itself,
Mm-hmm.
that if he's willing to, obviously we're speaking hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
if he's willing to support our community, even if he's making money off of it or not, it doesn't matter. The amount of media, the amount of exposure, having the brand Tesla associated in a positive format for firearms,
Mm-hmm.
I'm supporting it 100%.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, he
to
made
me,
the same-
it's more. You know.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, the Boring Company did do a flamethrower. Now, it was really like a glorified barbecue lighter.
It was a roofing where they heat up the tar.
Yeah, but they did do a flamethrower. You never know. If he's living in Texas, for all you know, he might already be shooting guns, right? I've heard Zuckerberg shoots a lot of guns, but he's not necessarily on our side, though. But he's got guns, shoots guns.
Mark
Yeah.
does shoot guns, and he can deny it all he wants, but I have
Mhm.
maybe a few of him shooting guns.
Mhm.
Maybe I should get that in my back pocket. No,
Yeah.
but Joe Rogan got an AR.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's a big guy.
Oh no, Joe Rogan's
He's got
huge.
guns.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a big.
Yeah, but he's got a new AR, and like people are like crushing him because he brought it out on his podcast, and people were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that."
Well, so didn't Alex Jones give him that or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But he went on Alex Jones' show and got that thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, did Rogan actually bring that out on his show while he was live?
I guess it was on an AR Alex Jones show.
Yeah, I think it
People
was
were,
on
like,
Alex Jones, yeah.
flipping out on him.
Yeah, who's already deplatformed or whatever, but, I think it's a cool thing. You never know. Tesla might get into it. I think they sold some tequila or something like that, and it sold out. I would do it just for collection purposes, man. I like collecting cool lowers. If you remember, this is, what is it called? The China doll? Magpul actually had some lowers out there for a while. They played around with getting into building ARs. And there's a couple of lowers out there, and I think there's a few complete built guns. And I have a friend who has one of the complete rifles and a lower, and those things are highly, highly, highly collectible and sought after.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
didn't even know that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's impressive.
yeah. I think it's for reals. They try to do it, and I think the initial ones they created went out to people in the industry at the time, and then Magpul decided, not going to do it. We don't want any part of this, so that's why those things became really rare. And I bet you if they started making it today, everyone will be all over that. So, John, you never heard of this?
The Magpul?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So
I don't have out of my 150-ish ARs, I don't have
right.
Magpul.
That's one to look for. Okay, listen. So look, we got to 9 o'clock. These guys did pretty close to 2 hours of answering questions here. So what I'm going to do is give everyone an opportunity to tell you all how you can get in contact with them and support them. I'm going to start with John Crump for graciously coming in, even though he's got a bunch of stuff going on. John, how can the folks out there follow you, support you, etc.?
I always have a bunch of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Absolutely. I do.
Middle of the night, I'm while working.
Okay.
You can check out my writing at MLN.com. All my stuff also gets cross-posted to Crumpy.com. I have a channel on YouTube, John Crump 2, which is, I wouldn't say it's blowing up, but it's fun. I do my little podcast on there. It's a lot of fun. Real John Crump on Instagram, Black Swan Media Group on Facebook because Facebook kicked me off. Everyone, go to thegundies.com. Vote for me. The reason why I want to vote for me, I just want to get.
Oh boy. Okay. Don't make it short. Make it short.
It will be very, very short.
Mm-hmm.
Reason why you should vote for me is Hank said he would shave his head if I'm in the top 4.
Fake news.
Everyone wants to see with Hank with no hair, and you automatically get a free Henry rifle too.
No, that's all fake news. That is all fake news. Don't believe
Go
that.
to gunhunters.org.
Yeah.
Like bribery.
Yeah, support all the other guys who are on here. Black Diamond Guns and Gear. I saw Shooting Gallery, Annie on there also. If
Good guy.
Yeah, if I'm missing out, leaving out anyone. All right, so Will and Ben, what can the folks do? How can they communicate with you guys if they want to follow up on stuff? Or where should they go to support you guys?
Absolutely. So the marketing firm is forgerelations.com, and all our social media handles are obviously Forge Relations. And then, of course, the big one, thegundies.com. So if you guys want to sign up or just ask questions, there's all contact information in there. And if you want to follow me personally, it's my name, @WillRenke. And if you're really interested, we do have a YouTube channel. It's more of just our fun shenanigans. It's @Will and Ben. So it's kind of, or not @Will, but it's just Will and Ben.
Will and Ben on YouTube.
And then we have a podcast, Forge Relations, on Spotify, a couple other channels.
And the Gundies is Gundies, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you have
no
any
Y.
questions, you shoot me a DM or just email, and anything you have, any kind of concerns, and seriously, we
Feedback,
really want this to be feedback,
recommendations, all of it.
be part of it. This was built for the community. This was built for everybody. So if you have an idea or suggestion, just let us know. I mean, that's really the biggest thing. Let's pin it and let's try and work on it. If we can't do it this year, let's incorporate it for next year, because the way we're going, we don't want to go anywhere. We want to make this bigger and better. And, every mistake we make throughout the year, we want to improve on it and just keep growing. So we appreciate the support, and we really, really appreciate, taking the time out, speaking with us, and letting us answer your concerns, your questions, and, getting to talk to the followers that follow you and are watching to kind of give them our answers.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for actually reaching out to us and coming on here. I think, that's a good way to do stuff. Hopefully, this goes very well and it keeps growing and people keep getting involved and make it into a better thing. That's what all of this is supposed to be about. And if we don't make award shows for ourselves, no one else will. So, that's just how it goes. All right. So listen, I want you guys to stay there. I'm going to run in the end and then we'll come back and get the final word here. So let me drop the end here. Thanks so much for watching us, guys. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, ring the bell, all that kind of good stuff. We're going to rip out the audio from this and throw it up on iTunes and all the other places where you get your audio podcast from. Don't forget to go to hankstrange.com, and of course, big shout out to Harry's Holsters for sponsoring and supporting the show here. We appreciate that. All right, who wants the last word? Come on,
The gun guys.
Yeah, Gundies guys, hit us with the last word.
What's the last word?
Go to the Gundies. Make sure you vote, and if not, do everything you can to give everybody big thumbs up supporting this community.
Absolutely, well said. All right, we're out of here, guys. Peace. See you tomorrow. Later.
See you guys.
Peace.